We are excited now to change the temperature a little bit and have a spoken word from Sam Gharwami, a youth leader from Hills Baptist Church, the Verdun campus. During the week, you'll find Sam speaking to youth and young adults across the city, inspiring them, and also selling real estate. Please make Sam feel welcome. He's one of Adelaide's larger-than-life personalities, Sam Gharwami.
Thanks, brother. Bit of a combination there, wasn't it? All right. Unexpected. This was never expected. But this is a story of a man pre and post Jesus selected, a Holy Spirit elected, a man in the world affected. I kept looking for the earthly desires. I neglected the right paths while I took the wrong. The key was to getting higher. I aspired to be the best that I could be. Through Allah, I continued to try but fell short of the Almighty. Time and time again, I kept falling back to a no-pork Muslim. All show and no walk, but thought it would be enough to get through it with him. The sex, the drugs, the hip-hop kept bringing me back in. Then Ramadan would come along and I would stop and begin praying and fasting. Through my works, I tried to stop, but I would then lie and deny him. I was back in, but I was asking the wrong people every time, looking for help through man, but fell short again, time and time. Trying to do good, but it was too good to be getting that feeling. Out in the clubs, loving the love, the music, the dancing, the money, the dealing. Thought when I had kids, it would all end, but instead, the poop hit the ceiling. Then we realized it was a spiritual battle who needed a spiritual healing. I was needing to be weak because in my strength it was hard. The world was continuing to deceive and bombard. It began with the weed and it ended up in the shards. God sent me a woman to walk with who wore his heart. She bore me children, gave me chances, and she prophesied from the start. She saw through my Muslim faith and told me a Christian youth leader I'd be cold. And now 15 years later on a Friday night, it is what I am called. She told me to go to Sydney to meet an ex-gangster turned pastor. Who knew when he prayed and said Jesus forgave that the tears would pour out faster? And everybody said it was the Holy Spirit, but I would get to know it after. He revealed his path to me, and all I had to do was receive the Master. The Father, the Son, and the Spirit would rescue me and bring me out of this disaster. I had almost given up hope when we had tried so many things. When my wife brought me to Jesus, I had rejected and denied him. So he kept giving me signs, and Holy Spirit was pursuing. His grace would suffice, and after that I would know him. He laid a book in my path, seeking Allah, finding Jesus. The way it was displayed in front of me, I was seeing it, but I tooth-comb, realizing his faith was about to lose it. It was confusing me, but in my heart through faith, I could feel the truth clearly. It was time I was his and he was mine, so I knew what I had to choose to be free. It wasn't in my strength, but in my weakness, he was strong. When I was ready to receive his gift of grace, through faith, the shackles were gone. Things that had been with me and chained me down for so long were now just memories of where I was and how I went wrong. Who knew his peace would surpass all of my own understanding? Yet my Muslim friends and family knew not how to comprehend and did not know how to understand it. How could I have turned, and who was I, or was I simply pretending? But it was a direct revelation with God and his Son that I was now ready to be defending. I no longer live for the world. I live in the world and for the King. Now at the top of my lungs, I scream, I pray, I worship, I sing. I knew what he had done for me before I had even heard. He changed my life, and I knew the feeling before I knew the word. And now we are called to tell the world about the living word. Jesus the Son, the way, the truth, the life, so it needs to be heard. It is time the shepherd herds us believers, called to spread the word of light. Believe it from a man who's done many wrongs and knows only Jesus can make it right. He took my sin, past, present, and future, and brought me out of the darkness into his light, so we can be messengers and bring him the lost back to him in life. See, he who dwells in the shelter of the Lord, in the shadow of the Almighty, they will abide. Much love. Thanks, man.